What's up, Rant Gang? Welcome back to Redfern Rants. I am Jay Redfern, finally back with Canibus. I'd asked plenty of times for the request, but for whatever reason, if people weren't seeing me asking for them, because maybe they were at the end of a video, and obviously people don't watch the whole video sometimes. I understand that. I do that myself, you know. Sometimes you just want to see the reaction, you don't want to hear me talking shite. But yeah, finally we're back with Canibus. This one is Sinflation, and I just typed Sinflation in. I didn't even type Canibus, and it came up first, thank God. So yeah, 6 minutes long, standard Canibus. So yeah, I'm about to get my head blown for 6 minutes. I've got my energy drink ready. You always need a bit of an energy boost for your body and mind when you're listening to Canibus. Okay, you know, to be honest with you. But I will stop ranting now and we'll get into this one. Canibus, Sinflation, bit of a conspiracy theory video, I'm told. So yeah, let's go. Oh, not video, song, should I say. So yeah, let's get into it.
And so when you look from that perspective, they don't have the whole picture. A long time ago, we were talking about the process of putting a puzzle together, not having all the pieces. And as we see the pieces, we try to make a match, and sometimes they don't match and they don't make sense. And when you find the missing piece, all of a sudden you get to really understand what the picture's about.
It's a dirty little secret. Some might be surprised to learn that the fate of American economy is a dirty little secret.
Today, tomorrow, 6 months, next year, they have always held the keys to your fears. Fast forward decades later, blood, sweat, and tears are shed to the creator, but it was all made up. Generation after generation, tell me what changes. History keeps repeating itself for ages. He was driving a Tesla Model S, playing loud music. He drove into an EMP storm and got electrocuted. Trust fund lawyers were recruited, lawsuits were instituted. The electric car killed him. Prove it. Quantum evolution, quantum conducive, quantum revolution, rap music, quantum electrocution, transformed him into a mutant. Infrared eyesight, lucid, sharpen the picture, fine tune it or lose it. God's gift, optic, Oculus Rift. Look around your environment, but keep your composure. Now, what do you think? I think it's all.
You know what? I haven't reacted to Canibus really. I mean, I haven't reacted to him for a while, should I say, really. As a standalone artist on his own stuff, anyway, because I did react like last week, but that was where Eminem, Vinnie Paz, and who was it? Whoever, anyway, can't even remember. My mind's gone blank. But yeah, I kind of forgot how clever he is with his words. The way he rhymes words together, but you've got to think of the standard of those words. Like, he's so intelligent, and the words he uses and rhymes them together in an effortless flow. It's just, the guy is so good. Honestly, he's so good at doing it. I mean, I've thought about this before, because I think Canibus is unbelievable. I really do. I think he's on another level as an MC. But although he's got a huge fan base, much like Kadino, he's not as big as he should be, or not in the conversation as much as he should be when people mention artists, or no, I shouldn't say artists, when mentioning rappers, and they're putting them in lists, you don't hear his name, you don't hear Kadino. The reason I think with Canibus is because you've got to have a certain type of mind, because he's so clever. If you're growing up today, and I'm talking mostly about the youth here, I'm not talking about like people in their like mid-30s and above will probably love Canibus, but I'm talking about the youth of today. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a lot of the youth who love Canibus, but there isn't as many as there should be. and the reason is the trash that they're getting brought up on. I mean, I've mentioned loads of times, I'm sure you should have heard me saying it, but mumble rappers. If you're being brought up listening to that, and that's all you're hearing, and you're hearing that in these clubs where they're playing it, or they're going around a friend's house and they're playing it, you basically think that is the echelon, the standard. And to go from that to hearing Canibus, that's just got to be such a mind fuck. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine growing up thinking mumble rap or mumble rappers were anything but absolute dog shit. Because you know what, when we've got artists, and it's not just Canibus, artists like Canibus, KD, you know, I mean, obviously from my point of view, Eminem. When you've got these type of guys, you can effortlessly spit just absolute fire all the time, rhyme words together that 99.9% of rappers couldn't rhyme together. It blows my mind. Listen, I'm going to stop ranting because I'm only a minute and 12 in, and I feel myself going. See, I can already feel what Canibus is doing
Shit,
to me
these
already.
problems can't be fixed. I think the only solution is reset. They say comply or die. Regroup on your side or mine.
Go on a minute, let's go back.
What do you think? I think it's all gone to shit. These problems can't be fixed. I think the only solution is reset.
I think the only solution is reset. I've heard that recently. This is mad listening to this now, because recently I'm being hearing, I'm sure it was members of our own royal family even saying the world needs a reset, and people, conspiracy theorists, are like jumping on like people in the royal family saying it. There's people high up in the media saying it. There's billionaires and millionaires out there saying it, obviously, and everyone is assuming what that means is like basically a culling in a way. And just to hear Canibus say it just shows you how ahead of the time he is with these conspiracy theories.
Comply or die, regroup on your side or mine, and stop making excuses about why. Keep an eye on the micro, but notice the macro. The bottom line is our slave masters are assholes. Today, tomorrow, 6 months, next year, they have always held the keys to your fears. Fast forward decades later, blood, sweat, and tears is shed to the creator, but it was all made up. It ain't today, tomorrow, 6 months, or next year. They enjoy playing off for all our fears. Fast forward decades later, blood, sweat, and tears is shed to the creator. We don't worship, no pay. Preach. The higher the peak, the lower we are forced to dig deep. The best outcome is always out of reach. Do you agree to disagree about hope? Of course you don't believe everything they see. You never see through the smoke. You say you know the ledge, that's just a theoretical edge. To make the world a better place, you need more than a pledge. Trust no one, even yourself, and this includes the person giving, receiving, or needing some help. But you sold them your soul, and they stretched out your donut hole. You only know what you were told, not what you behold. The collapse is simultaneously triggered. Now you know what it feels like to be a statistic. Poor sons of bitches ain't allowed to make decisions. We middle class midgets living off of third world figures. They say the economy.
See, with it being said it's a conspiracy theory type of song, Woody's just got a thing recently for when I'm doing reactions to just chew behind me on his chew sticks. So I apologise if the microphone's picking it up again. That's like 2 on the bounce. I think he's done this for now. I don't even know where I was then. What was I saying? That's you that, mate. That's you that distracted me. I'll have to go back. Maybe it'll pop back in my brain.
Triggered. Now you know what it feels like to be a statistic. Poor sons of bitches ain't allowed to make decisions. We middle class midgets living off of third world figures.
Yeah, he's basically saying with just a statistic. Can't get my words out. Because you're middle class, because you know the fact that he's saying it, and it's what I'm hearing recently, is like, they don't care. They just don't care about the lower class people. And I mean, it's whether you choose to believe this stuff or not. I mean, sometimes I believe little bits, and sometimes I just think, no, it's talking nonsense. But yeah, ultimately it'll be the millionaires, the billionaires, and the people in power who are the safest, and it'll be the rest of us who suffer. And I basically feel like this is what Canibus is touching on again here. As I said, I don't know when this was released, but so ahead of his time.
They say the economy's grown, but if you look, there's more vacant homes, the homeless people living on the road. Today, tomorrow, 6 months, next year, they have always held the keys to your fears. Fast forward decades later, blood, sweat, and tears are shed to the creator, but it was all made up. It ain't today, tomorrow, 6 months, or next year. They enjoy playing off for all our fears. Fast forward decades later, blood, sweat, and tears are shed to the creator. We don't worship no paper. Stop getting chances when you stop taking them. So just follow your orders. Never question who's making them. Let us.
You stop getting chances when you stop taking them. Now just forget about conspiracy theories. Just remember that and take that little bit of advice. Take that little bit of advice from Canibus. So good, I'm gonna read it again. Come on.
Sweat and tears are shed to the creator. We don't worship no paper. Stop getting chances when you stop taking them. So just follow your orders. Never question who's making them. Let us hold hands, let us pray with him. Excuse me, what's your name again? Okay, we'll have another round of Jameson. Drink up, rejoice. Let's pretend we always have a choice, cause we sure as hell never had a voice. The day of reckoning, your last will and testament. Text message and emergency services still testing pings. Black swan psychologists could have been worse. They could have been communists. Object to sustain. McCarthy is your counselor, a complete monopoly. This is proper hip-hop verbosity. Show you how it be and how it look to me. They build, destroy, recycle. That's how they get it done. Vocal percussions, no interruptions, perfection. Soundproof coffins, the haunted eavesdrop too often. It's always me and the Lord when I'm talking. Taking long walks on winter beaches, falling with splinters and blisters in the sound of whispering torment. The guillotines are sharpening, the background music is ominous. Laying there naked, dying from insomnia, hungry cause they starving us. Gun sentries, hall monitors, groaning and daunting. My dear long-armed darlings, we are death marching, rituals sinister. Barefoot prisoners, dig a hole so POWs can shit in it. Prisoners during peacetime, peaceful and primitive. We never could understand what the fuck is a derivative. Admit it, we were all deceived with such relative ease, only because we dared to dream. They stole control with a single act of multiple hacks. They were literal, visceral, non-physical attacks. Citywide, but then the chaos metastasized to the countryside. We cried, our Bill of Rights were nullified. So miserable, so sad, I don't ever think I felt this bad. Feelings are emotions, emotions are scams. Wealth intimidates poor people more than violence, so they hide it. I've been on both sides of the fence. The common man changed to behave as a slave, reading alien waves in the days on a Forex page. When Braveheart was brought to King's Court, he was shackled in chains. I heard him say that was an unwinnable game.
Simply put, the plan is to create this rush to the dirty little secret like passengers from sinking ship to life.
So interesting.
Once the
I'm gonna have to listen to this again, just to hear more about what I've missed.
The takeover of America has already happened. The collaborators have already been installed. And we are now on a path to complete subjugation of a larger global system of governance. If you continue to doubt this, how else would you explain the governmental acquiescence of self-destruction? And who will attempt to discredit the validity of the information offered here? The more intellectually astute will look beyond the statistics offered for mass consumption. Not only to identify the deliberately manipulated data, but to understand what is actually driving these false hopes, figures, and data. It is a magic show, and many are still captivated by the magician's many diversions. It is a magic show, and many are still captivated by the dirty little secret.
And so when you
Just, wow. Genius. The guy's a genius, and there's so many parts of that just ring through today, or that could ring through today. I'm gonna have to pull the lyrics up and dissect that a little bit more. I wish I'd have looked for a lyric video. I don't know if there is one, but I wish I'd have looked for one beforehand, because I think I needed it there. The guy's just not only an unbelievable MC, but ahead of his time, as I said, ahead of his time, and he's so intelligent, and I've said it many times, he's so intelligent. It's part of the reason I love listening to him, Kane, because you know you're getting something different than the norm. You know you're getting something well thought out and not just put out for the sake of having music out there to stay relevant or to make a bit of cash. With Canibus and Kane, you don't get that feeling, and that's why they're putting the music out there. You get the feeling you've got something to say, and it's well thought out, and yeah, you've got really got to respect. You've got to respect that, and even if that's not the case, that's how I feel, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. That's how I feel with them two guys, anyway. So yeah, big thank you. I think it was Latino who requested this one. So yeah, Latino, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. Please pop more Canibus requests in the comments, more Kadino requests in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you all on the next one.